Hi, I'm Jayinplaytrader. I'm creating free video content teaching people how to trade Betfair absolutely for free. If you're enjoying my videos or you're learning from them, please support me back by hitting the subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the like button on any videos you watch. This will enable me to create more free content for you so you can learn to become a better trader. Best of luck in the markets.
Good afternoon, Alex. Welcome everyone. Runners poised at the
Market in play.
Hathlow wasn't the best away, neither enough already as they race away for the Manny Mercer
So
apprentice.
laying low on Linden B, traded in quite a few times low. Big price.
Now, a frenetic early pace with several pulling for their heads, including Good Birthday in blue and white, who's on the tail of the leader.
Just going to have a look at the
respect towards the outside and the extreme outside.
Runners. I'm really just trying to get a feel for the markets. I've not traded for a little bit of time, so it's been a couple of weeks, and I want to see how they're moving. So just give you an idea of what I can expect at the moment, because the markets are constantly evolving, and you can't expect them to be the same as what they did a few weeks ago, especially since we've recently had the change of season and everything else. Linden B, we can see up here, it's 38 at the moment. There's only a 1 mile, so I don't really like to scout these shorter races.
3.5 furlongs to travel.
Potentially to go in there, but there's just not a lot of money behind.
Mark of respect, Good Birthday and Mustawa. Repertoire towards the left-hand side.
I'm out of here, man.
Still held on to at the back of the field, and there's a wave right across the course.
I'm going to get matched from Linden B,
Good Birthday and Mark of respect.
Off.
Trying to rally Mustawa. Repertoire bursting through. Hathlow hasn't had
any out of here, man.
Towards the far side to try and deliver a challenge. It is Repertoire who's moving through the lead.
Sucker.
Has the advantage from.
But yeah, I do seriously recommend that you look at markets before you begin to trade, especially if you've had a break, and see how they're behaving, because they're constantly evolving. They evolve from day to day, week to week, month to month.
Market suspended.
You know, season to season, and it all just depends on how much money is in the market, how much money is waiting, how much money is actually coming in on the liquidity side. So, and 2 days are not the same. It can vary throughout the afternoon, obviously race to race as well, but at least you've got a better idea of what's going on if you just spectate a few races, which is what I'm going to do today. I hope to get a few trades in on some of the better ones. So we're looking at a shorter race here at Wolverhampton. It is short, so we need to be in and out pretty quick if we do make a trade. I'm not 100% sure I will.
Market in play.
It all depends on what opportunities I see, and you can see straight away that not a lot of money in the market. So there's a bit here, but unfortunately it has bumped massively out in price.
Then on the rail is Fearless Bay, out wide a sense of security, the maroon.
You can see how quickly these markets can move, because there's just no money.
Right up on the inside, on the outside of Voodoo Ray, as they now race towards the final quarter mile. Whitcliffe still at the back, but they are beginning to close up from the rear.
And we're out.
I'm out of here, man.
We're not quite out, actually. We are now. And that's it.
Sucker.
So you can see I've literally just put one trade through. It's only £2.45, but you know, they all add up. We've got out before the business end of the race. We don't want to be involved in that at all. Flashed in and out for a few ticks, and you can see now we're getting into that last furlong, and the winners pretty much there.
Market suspended.
My whole point is, you know, you've got to wait for opportunities, and I would rather wait, be patient, not trade a race than make a loss, an unnecessary loss. So £2.45. If I only make £5–10 a day, it is what it is. We'll see what the day brings.
Yeah, the black and white of Grand Dam. Then the
and a little look at market movement here.
Mukadama, who jumped on terms this afternoon and is just towards the.
We'll just get a few ticks through the market.
Star from afar has the advantage by round about 2 lengths. King's Joy is in second.
Got to keep an eye on
Queenlit, who races in third. Fourth place, Mukadama moves up on the
price. You
outside.
can see there's not a lot of money in these markets, so it could move about quickly. If I see money come in, I've got my finger over that X key to cancel off quick as you like. But we're just hoping like a big bet will come in, pick us up, and go straight back out. That's why we're sitting there in anticipation that may happen.
Then our Grand Dam races on the inside of Mukadama, and last to turn in will be Eternal Pearl. Past halfway,
Like
3.5 furlongs still to travel. Turning
So
in,
not
Star
much
from
match
Afar
there.
has the lead by a length from King's Joy as they pass the 3.
I'm out of here, man.
Travels strongly on the heels of the leaders. Mukadama push coming to shove for Grand Dam and also the other debutante Eternal Pearl. Star from Afar tries to kick away at the 2 furlong pole. Has the lead from
I'm out of here, man.
out in second place to
Unfortunately,
disputed
not much
Joy.
made on that.
Then on the outside,
But that's
races
it.
Mukadama.
39p.
Star from Afar has the advantage. Mukadama in second. Grand Dam's getting the hang of things right round the outside as well. Mukadama and Grand Dam go past Star from Afar. Grand Dam with a surging challenge from the back of the field is going to win on debut. Grand Dam for...
Market suspended.
So yeah, not a lot there. I could have gone for a few more ticks. I only got a very small amount of money matched, a couple of quid or something. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it though, because I have been out for a few weeks and I'm just back to basics at the moment. Get back into winning ways, make sure I'm reading the markets correctly, and avoid losses essentially. So you should always go back to basics every so often because the markets are totally changing and evolving the whole time, and to stay profitable, you need to change with them. So that's essentially what I'm doing. Obviously, we've had a change over a season recently. To the flat racing. I don't normally do these shorter races, but I won't do anything less than a mile, that's for sure. That's the lowest I'll do, and I'll be very cautious about those as well. Anyway, we'll move on. It's not any money lost, so I'm quite happy with it. Okay, so we've got a mile and 2 furlongs. Got to be out early on, Wiltshire in the race timer. Apart from for this one trade I've got on Quote 9 Direct, who has in his career won 5 races, but he's traded in low like 47 times. So hopefully he'll trade in low today and pick us up a nice profit. We're laying at 2.28 for 20 quid. You can see there's a few other bits of stakes around that sort of figure as well. People probably thinking the same thing as me, I'd imagine. We'll see if we can scalp out a few ticks. Don't like these prices, and obviously we don't have a lot of time in this one, so we'll see what occurs.
Turn heading back down the side of the track inside the final 6 furlongs, and Spantic still in front by about 3 parts of a length.
Don't really like
sticking to the inside for Sophie
trades in the front runner.
Cara Gillihy and Jason Hart right behind those. Love Your Work in the noseband to the outside of Bookmark, and then Quote Line Direct, and something in this with Clinton Noon. That one's dropped right off them and is now detached by 12 lengths from the main body of the field. Back up the hill they come, back inside the final half mile now, and Spantic just tries to extend them off the front, leads by 3 parts of a length.
So only a pound there.
Well, what
did
would
come
you
in a
know
little
towards
bit.
the inside is next from Love Your Work, and then Bookmark. Quote Line Direct
I'm out of here, man.
body, and then this
Quote Line Direct
Noon in rear, swinging left-handed all the while, coming back towards
right
the final
here.
2 furlongs.
Now there's 300 quid in front of me,
Spantic to the inside, Cara Gillihy ranging up,
and that would hold me up if it just dips down. So I'll
I'm out of here, man.
Tries to burst
risk an extra bit of liability.
Direct down the straight they come towards the final furlong and a half. Cara Gillihy lays down the challenge to Spantic. Love Your Work, working hard. What would you know is next then? Bookmark trying to go over the top. It's Cara Gillihy, the grey horse, who's at the front as they go to the final half furlong. Bookmark out wide, motoring. Spantic back to more towards the inside. Cara Gillihy, Spantic.
So yeah, Quote Line Direct didn't trade in low today.
Market suspended.
I mean, it's had a lot of races where it didn't, but it did. It did dob. If you're into dobbing, it was. I saw it at sort of up here pre-race. I think it did come in a little bit just before the off, and went out again. But it was up there, but it just wasn't quite high enough to fool the punters into backing it and thinking it was going to win, unfortunately. But you'd be surprised how quickly a market can jump from forwards right the way down to pick us up at 2-3. So we were on the right tracks there, definitely, but no cigar on this occasion. Let's move on. Still quite happy. 100% success rate so far. That's the way we want to keep it. Not too much risk. Obviously, we did go in the red a little bit on Spantic, but we're watching the race time up. We knew we weren't even halfway through the race, so it didn't concern me. If we'd got up to these later lines, then obviously we would have to take a loss, close off for what we can. But I was, not worried at that point, if that makes sense.
And enemy.
So we have a 2 mile Group 3 stakes at Ascot, 3:30 on a Wednesday afternoon.
Market in play.
On paper, potentially this is the best scalping opportunity for me today that I can see, but we'll see how the markets act in reality and see whether we can get money through safely or not. Let's have a little look to see what we can do. Just using £2.50 stakes, been off for a few weeks, markets have changed around, so just literally getting back on the horse and excuse the pun there, and yeah, just basically trying to get myself back into winning ways and making sure I'm reading the markets correctly and stuff like that.
Fellow Irish raider Princess Zoe, and we're now in pairs as they make the turn away with Quickthorn and Enemy.
So obviously we're looking at the race timer constantly, how much time is left. We're looking at how much money is coming in the markets, how much they're moving by.
In second place as they begin the descent.
We want to see them jumping a little bit so we can get matched both sides of the book.
Who is currently in fourth place. Quickthorn and Enemy are just about side by side as they're now beginning the run downhill.
Enemy went out in price massively pre-race, drifted, and it's come back to where it sort of started off from, if that makes sense, before it drifted.
A couple of lengths clear from Princess Zoe.
See, the market's quite buttoned up at the moment. I don't feel confident putting cash in just yet.
Quickthorn for Tom Marquand in the pale blue, and that horse continues to race alongside Enemy in the hands of William Buick.
You know, we want to be matched both sides of the book as quick as possible.
Descent is just about behind them, and they plateau now at Swinley Bottom.
And we want a minimum of 4 ticks as well. So obviously at the moment, if we was to put position here at 4-1, for example, we're going to be up here and we're going to be waiting ages. We watch that at 21. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, no, the 300. So we'd have been up there, and that 21's still sitting there. So see what I mean? We wouldn't be getting matched quickly, and so we can't enter at the moment to pull this strategy off. A slight more bit of movement on the Enemy.
Half a length to Wordsworth, who now goes through to join Princess Zoe, disputing third, and Enemy continues to race alongside Quickthorn as they continue their climb uphill, and they're racing towards the final 5 furlongs.
Waiting to see it jump, and it's
Pressure
not.
being applied now by Tash Khan, who's just about alongside Naif.
Now we are getting towards that halfway stage, so, or just over the halfway stage, sorry. So this is where the markets do start to move around a little bit more.
Have always been the same two dance partners at the back as they make their way down towards the final half mile in the Longines Cigaro Stakes. And out in the lead, it is still Naif Road, Tash Khan poised.
Managed to get some ticks through there before the price moved.
Underneath Wordsworth, who's just trying to hold her in the pocket as they make the turn. Then behind these Enemy and Quickthorn as the pace begins to increase as they make the turn, 2.5 furlongs to travel. Naif Road gap between that horse and Tash Khan. Wordsworth pretty much flat towards Enemy.
Can we close off?
Into it, undercover, and then towards the out. 5, Princess.
I'm out of here, man.
Who moves to the lead? Wordsworth is now finding full stride. Enemy.
Okay, so we're done. We're in danger zone. Unfortunately, we couldn't close off for that bigger profit there. I think that we got a tick off set.
Sucker.
Basically, we got a lot more saved.
Market suspended.
That we didn't need at that high price, went on as a bet. Unfortunately, the price didn't come in long enough for me to be able to say I might better. I was hoping I might better get 15, 16 quid there, which does often happen. You can see if the horse had come back to win, we'd have got like £83 if we'd left the position open. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Quite often you can get a few more ticks free. But using £2.50 stakes wasn't really in any danger there at all. Got the trades through at the right times. So £4.20. So just looking at a bit of Irish racing here. If you've been watching me over the winter, you'll know that I haven't really been trading any Irish racing due to liquidity reasons. But you can see as we're now coming into sort of late April, the season has changed, and you can see liquidity is starting to pick up on the Irish races there. So they haven't turned that off. I've just realised something. I'm going to reset my race timer. The market's in play, apparently. There's just been a false start. I just realised that. Yeah, so anyway, liquidity is picking up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the race timer here because you can see, look, the Geeks Toy timer is off and running. So obviously that's gone in play. Hopefully it should go in. But anyway, liquidity is coming up. So hopefully we'll be able to get a few trades through. It's a big field here. Big prices, so we may not be able to. I'm only using a £50 bank today.
Market suspended.
a lay-in low strategy on Kabat, who has traded in quite low on quite a few occasions when it's not won. So we're going to see if we can just get picked up there. I think I'm going to move that to 264. So let's have a little look, see if there's any opportunities. Obviously, just because the liquidity pre-race has picked up, I've got to keep an eye on what's going on in the race and make sure we can get matched both sides of the book safely, because it depends how much money's changing.
Ogly.
Probably not till halfway through the race. You can see that just look at this run of £4, nothing. You see the gaps as it's gone in play, £9. It's a bit too slow at the moment for my liking, but we'll see what happens. We'll come back to Carabao later on in the race as well.
The help advantage over Life in the Park and Mike O'Connor. Then who's got you now? Who's closing for Keen Quirk? Millen to 1, Keen Cullinan on the outside. All of it driven along. Molly Wedger and Richard Condon. Then Thanks for the Help and Crowley Park and Geary. Heading to the third last flight, which was their first. Cool Collins being pulled up. Midnight it is, joined by Life in the Park. Who's Got You Now improves. They're followed by Thanks for the Help, Millen to 1. Geary,
going to hang on for a second. I kind of regret putting that through.
From off the pace, Outback Flat, and then Rock Road and Adams Day. Heading to the 3 with 1 flight left to jump. Midnight it is, still to be added. On the outside, Life in the Park.
Crikey, we should have got out there.
Terms. Then Who's Got You Now closing is the grey. Thanks for the Help. Then First Touch, Geary.
Look how slow it is.
To Outback Flower, and then Adams Day and Rock Road and Stumptown into the straight. And here's the grey. Thanks for the Help.
So Carapat,
Life in the Park.
Carapat's done nothing. So yeah, not very good. I'm just going to take that 20 quid out because we don't want it. I want it back straight away. So yeah, 47p. And you see that the beauty of the race time, and now they're only just getting into the business end of the race. So whether it wins or not, it doesn't really matter now. As long as you're keeping that. But you look how slow it is. It's not worth it. So we did make 47p by laying the winner, which is always nice.
Suspended.
When you make a profit by laying the winner, because you're getting your timing right when that's the case, but far too slow at the moment. Probably to do with the fact that there's so many runners, but also Irish racing. Yeah, I don't recommend it just yet. But as we get through into the summertime, you will start seeing them liquidity pick up on certain races. When they tend to have bigger fields on a lot of punch down races and so on. But when you start seeing the smaller fields, now we should be able to make some money.
Global Spirit by 3 parts of it.
I just realised I wasn't recording this, but this is another example where it looks like I may have traded the winner.
Market suspended.
Yeah, again, so I've got my timing right. Sorry, I forgot to hit the record button because I've just come straight over for Punchtown. And managed to just get a trade through for 6 ticks, I think it was. I tried to go in again for 8, but I didn't. I decided it was getting too late. But again, it's another one where we've actually made a profit from laying the winner. Okay, so I'm looking at another race at Punchtown. Slightly smaller field than the last race I looked at, so hopefully we'll see a bit more movement in the markets as the money sort of spread between lesser runners. We've got a short price favourite. Sammy's Choice has just gone out in price, but we might be able to make some money off this. You can see the liquidity is definitely picking up for the Irish racing, so if we pick our races carefully, we might find a few opportunities that we obviously didn't have over winter from the Irish racing. Let's see what we can do.
In green and white, John Cannon, the early back marker. Inside their final 2
As always, I'm watching the race timer to monitor where we are through the race, so to make sure that we're not trading at the wrong times. If we've got a position open that goes slightly negative, we can see whether it's safe to hang on to it for a bit or whether we need to cut it out straight away.
Well enough grouped. Coming by the winning post the first time. Vinny is busy, joined by Camino Rock.
We really want to be out by that line there on the race timer.
And on the outside,
we could possibly go to that one, but we'll certainly not into that red zone at the end, the last 20% of the race. That's too dangerous.
Disputes the lead with Vinny is busy. Slicker jump by Camino Rock.
So looking at liquidity, you can see there's a few gaps between these columns, which is not what I want to see. But markets are moving, okay, they're just not moving quite the way I want at this stage to actually get my money in.
Remains the back marker at the upper flight. Camino Rock and Vinny is busy, continuing.
So AI Contact is the what I'm looking at the moment,
throughout. Then Freedom to Dream and
we're going to get enough
River and IA
movement.
Connect, Glengoody, Rebel Ivy, and the Road to Fame, and Ambitious Fellow. Sam's Choice, right across.
Didn't quite pop down to me enough.
The final 7 furlongs.
See, we're watching the race timer. So we're okay if we were to get matched now for a little bit of time.
Freedom to Dream right with them. And then Winding River and IA Connect, the Road to Fame's improved, and then Glengooley and Rebel Ivy, Sam's Choice, Ambitious Fellow, Peaceful.
So we're matched, and we've just got exit matched.
The field's still well tightened up, heading to the 5 furlong point with 3 flights to jump. Camino Rock back in front. Of Freedom to Dream, Winding Rivers improved, then IA Connect.
I don't like that 300 sitting there, I've got to be honest.
Losing ground as Vinny is busy.
Watching that race timer.
To Fame, an Ambitious Fellow and Peaceful Sunday, Sam's Choice and John Cannon the final couple. Off the turn for the 3rd last flight. Freedom to Dream, Camino Rock hit it hard, and then Winding River and on the outside of Glengooley, heading towards the 2nd last. Trying to move through on the inside, IA Connect. IA Connect has dumped Adrian Heskin at that flight on the turn in. Adrian has just got to his feet.
I was literally about to put a trade through then, and I pulled off it.
Winding River, Ambitious Fellow, Glengooley is next. John Cannon from the back is trying to come late with the Road to Fame as they straighten for the final flight.
So yeah, too late to trade now. Obviously, we're well in that red zone. You can see how the markets. We've got one out in front. It looks like it's probably won the race. Doesn't mean it will have. I wouldn't start laying something else just in case. You just never know in this game. And you can see that. Look at the prices moving around. I'm going to hang on just in case there's a photo that we might be able to trade. It doesn't look like it. Well, don't know. Who knows? How close is this going to be?
To the line, it's Rebel Ivy, Ambitious Fellow on the near side
Market
of Rebel Ivy.
suspended.
Entered the Road to Fame, 10 lengths behind them, and then Freedom to Dream and Winding River.
Colours are on there. Look. I think Ambitious River got it.
What
it?
a great finish!
Are they going to open it for a photo?
I think has won it again after Surprise Package took this Connolly's Red Mills Series final 12 months ago. Ambitious Fellow has, on the face of things, Dawn just managed to overhaul Rebel Ivy. Went for home off the bend and looked as though she might have.
Okay, so no photo there. So that's another £4.30. We got that through quite safely. Bit going because I could have got another trade through, but unfortunately, IA Connect fell. I literally pressed the button a second later. We might have got a massive offset there. We might have got the full money because if we'd got matched just like a second sooner as I was trying to go in, we could have probably got most of that stake or got a huge offset as it went straight out to 1,000. But happens sometimes, not always. But yeah, you can see Irish racing is starting to pick up. Got to be very careful of it still. Look at each race individually, but definitely starting to be able to pull some money from the Irish. And as we get into summer, it'll become a lot more profitable until we get down to the jump season again, and markets will start to fade off when we get round to Christmas, and that's a long way off. And then the Irish racing will be not worth touching for at least 4 or 5 months. But it looks like we're getting there. So we have Ascot 20 to 5 on a Wednesday, late April, 1 mile listed stakes race. Bear in mind these are faster horses, so we've got to be very careful on timing here if we're going to put a trade through on this.
Market in play.
See what happens.
Than is sometimes the case. A Valiant Prince, who was pretty keen to get on with things on the way down to the start, is the one that leads under William Buick, attended by Sebastian on the outside for Jim Crowley in the blue with the red and light blue hoop. New mandate.
I just let them settle down.
Under Frankie Dettori in the white sleeves.
I'm watching Intelligent on there as well. I was thinking about laying him low because he's traded low previously to about 1-3 or something and lost, but I just haven't got enough race information, so I'll be interested to see what he does trade down to. It might be one to keep an eye on.
In 4th place and still well in touch is New Mandate. So Valiant Prince bidding to try and make all. Sebastian and New Mandate improving now on the outside to try and do.
I'm out of here, man.
Intelligent is pushing along as gradually beginning to wind it up. Valiant Prince, Intelligent and New Mandate.
Market suspended.
I called it, and you can see it came right the way into decent money at 2.12. 100 quid match below 2.14. So, you know, I probably would have gone in if I'd laid it probably about 2.3 or something like that. That's what I was thinking about doing. But I didn't do it because there wasn't enough race information, to be fair. But Intelligent, want to keep an eye out because it's, I think it just hasn't got the legs at the end of these races at the moment. But it looks like the punters will be tempted to bet on it. So just keep an eye on that horse there, Intelligent. Obviously, make sure you're looking at what other competitions in the race before you put any money down, but that is definitely one to keep an eye on. So just looking at Punchtown again, liquidity picking up as we're noticing, just see if we can get some money through safely. It's nice that Irish racing is starting to open up for us, but obviously we've got to look at each track individually. I still won't be trading Dundalk. That's a losing track for me. I know that from looking at my records, my results spreadsheet. There's a link below if you need a copy so you can analyse your figures. So anyway, we'll see if there's a good opportunity. We have got a low-priced favourite, which obviously pushes all the other prices out. I don't want to trade anything at their current prices, but hopefully something will dip into something tradable that we can just nick a few ticks on.
By reaching the first of two down the back, they're well inside halfway.
So I'm using that as a cushion at the moment. So if the price looks like it's going to go through me, hopefully I can get out against that 300 quid or the 50, believe me. That is why I'm there.
Followed by Merlin Giant last, and Feast to Dairy jumped into the lead. From Cross Hill, Indiana Jones. Classic Getaway is trying to join the leaders. On the inside is Gibraltar. Then Ganapathy. Larky Debut is stopped quickly, and it's
just one straight through there.
And Nico de Boinville sent for the race. In second is Cross Hill, Robbie Power. Round the outside, Classic Getaway and Danny Mullins. Then Gibraltar. Champagne Gold, Ganapathy. On the run to the final flight, Feast to Dairy has a companion. Drawing up as Classic Getaway, and Classic Getaways come from last to first, heading to the final.
Okay, so we're obviously too late to straight in now. Oh, look at that. Is he going to come back and win?
Three inside the final 100 yards. Cross Hill and Robbie Power on the near side of Classic Getaway, and Face to Dairy. Cross Hill the winner from Classic Getaway.
Market suspended.
Again, it emphasises how much you need to keep an eye on that timing, because obviously if we placed our trade in late there, that's another horse that we've traded, made a profit from laying, that's come back and won. There's been several today, and it just shows how important that race timer is. So there you go. You can see like the race is running quicker than the average time at the moment because the ground's good this time of year. You can adjust the times if you want, but I'd do it in my head. Next race. So looking at Punchtown again, you can see quite a lot of money in the markets, which is all good. These markets seem to be jumping around a bit. We'll see if we can get some ticks through safely. Obviously, watching the race time, it's a 3-mile race, so quite a long one to look at.
Nice Sky. And Good Time Johnny.
So I'm watching this price, and I can't see it going up by 4 ticks from 6.0, so that's why we didn't go in there. Here we go.
To go along at the head of the race.
I'm out of here, man.
Second, and then the Nice Guy Journey with me. Meet and greet. Hollow Games on the outside of Good Time Johnny. Last flight in the back straight. 4 from home. Manila Kakuna up and over. From Manila Crooner, the Nice Guy poised on the inside. Then Journey with me and Meet and Greet and
Nice going out, so just
Hollow
try
Games daily present. As Good Time Johnny relegates Remedies. Meet and Greet, they're homeward bound. And it's Manila Kakuna still in front from the Nice Guy. Bronze moved after them in third, then Meet and Greet. Manila Crooner's dropped away, then Remedies and Journey with me. Into the straight of the final flight. Manila Kakuna out wide, and challenging is the Nice Guy. Then
so that's it, we're getting to that business end of the race.
To the final flight.
And we're all done. So another £4.50 in the bank. Irish racing is playing off today. As you can see, it's all getting good for the Irish. So I'm done there. I'm going to move on to the next race. Okay, so we have another Grade 1 race at Punchtown. I think this is probably the biggest race of the year at Punchtown. This is the Punchtown Gold Cup. So you can see liquidity is very high. We're just going to see if we can get some money through on one of the runners. Unfortunately, the favourite has just crashed in price after a good start there at the front, which might mean the other prices are a bit too high for me to trade at. But we'll have a look as the race progresses. It's a 3-miler, so there's quite a bit of time, and see if we can safely get some money through for sort of 4 or above ticks.
From last tornado, three down the back from Clandazobo and Album Photo, and then Kemboy and Galvin.
I'm out of here, man.
The middle fence in the back straight. Menaendo's been pulled up. At the next, sixth from home, Malaho the leader from Clandazobo, jumping off to his left was Album
not quite
Photo,
coming down to us there.
and then Kemboy, Galvin, Fakir, Duderi and Tornado Flower. The final ditch, 5 fences from the finish, and it's Alaho up and over from Clandazobo, who pecked on landing, then Album Photo. Kemboy next with Fakir, Duderi, Galvin, and at the rear of the field is Tornado Flower with 5 furlongs to go and 4 fences left to jump. And the Grade 1 Ladbrokes Punchestown Gold Cup, and it's Alaho.
I'm out of here, man.
A length to Clandazobo, 6 lengths to Album Photo, then Kemboy, Fakir, Duderi squeezed along ahead of Galvin and Tornado Flower. On they come to the 4th last fence, and it's Alaho tracked by Clandazobo, then Album Photo a little bit closer in 3rd. Fakir, Duderi on the outside, a slight mistake by Clandazobo. They head for the 3rd last fence in the Ladbrokes Punchestown Gold Cup. Glorious isolation as Alaho safely over from Clandazobo.
So £6, that's all right. Don't mind that at all. Never in any danger. Never went in the reds. Had to wait for my opportunity, which was a shame because
market suspended.
You know, had we been able to do that 2 or 3 times, there was only one trade, I think. Was it one trade? Yeah, one trade on Alaho. Another one where we've made our profit again. No, we haven't. What am I talking about? I was going to say we've made it from the winner, but we haven't. We didn't. I'm just being stupid. Ignore that. But you know, had we been able to get that trade through 2 or 3 times, it could have been looking like a 12, 18, or 4th time, even, you know, 24 quid or whatever, which does happen on these bigger races. But just got one through this one, 6 quid, more than happy with that. Started with a £50 bank, just settling in, being very careful today. So we're up to nearly £40 profit for less than an hour's work. That's all right.
And market in play.
Well, after a good deal of delay, Red Kite went into the stalls and is the best into stride, leads
so just a little free runner maiden race. Not sure whether we're going to get a trade through this or not. We may well do.
Very early stages as they reach
obviously not on the favourite, it's too short a price.
Course, and Red Kite and Franny Norton by about a length to Susan Be Quick, Making Me Do It. Still Hayley Turner biding her time on the Daughter of Golden Horn. Heading downhill then towards the final 3 furlongs and the cutaway ahead as well. Red Kite, Susan Be
I'm out of here, man.
Just held up in behind is Making Me Do It at that cutaway.
Close that off.
And now Hayley Turner shakes up the favourite to grab the inside berth and make.
So I don't know what's happened to the video there, but a quick £5.
I'm out of here, man.
Making Me Do It that struck the front goes
80, that will
2.5
be
lengths clear of Red Kite inside the final furlong. Making Me Do It,
Sucker.
Red Kite and Susan Be Quick. That was
so favourite did exactly what we thought. Shame we didn't get a few more ticks. I could have got more than 6 ticks on that.
Market suspended.
Red Kite in second, Susan Be.
By the time I realised I could be getting more than 6 ticks, I didn't have time to change it because I would have changed it and the opportunity would have been gone, if that makes sense. So I could have doubled my money the way the market was flying around there. Just a quick little opportunity. Susan Be Quick did try and get in there at 6s. I was thinking around 6s as low as it traded into. So shame we didn't get caught up on that one really, because that would have been a bit of profit there. I just went in a bit too late on it, but there you go. All adds up, doesn't it?
Leaving the stop,
On race at Musselburgh.
showing some speed towards the outside. Hal Bazaar in the black and orange is up there.
Dogly.
The maiden is there too. Fairly handy in the headgear, the maroon and white colours. Back towards the inside for Rain Cap in the purple and light blue. Purple and yellow of Hatcherd is next. Wider out is Ballycommon in the green and blue colours. Further back to find Clotherhome on the inside in blue. Then
bit of time left, but we may have to
for that runner. Black and white
take a loss here. We've got a little bit of time, so I'm not too bothered just yet.
Buala, who's also in white and red. Loch Navers towards the back.
£1, I think we'll get it.
Bond after a slow start as the back marker in the yellow and pale blue. Heading into to the home straight. How Bizarre out in front, leads
And
by a length
we're
to
closed
Aquamas
off, and that's
in
it.
second.
These shorter races, I
In
don't
front
like
is
to trade the
Cap
second
in
half of the
third place.
race.
Wider out, Ballycommon is
So
being pushed along.
they go for the line a lot earlier, you know.
Purple and yellow. Then the white and red
How
of Listen
Bizarre,
Again
good
is
chance
beginning
it
to
could
pick
win
up,
it.
but work to do. Aquamas has now
I'm
got
out
to
of
the
here,
front.
man.
Clother Home is giving chase in behind with Rain Cap and How Bizarre, but
But,
Aquamas, will it finally be her day? She leads them down to the final
looks
third.
like
I'm out of here,
is it
man.
going to be?
Couple of lengths. How Bizarre, far side giving chase. Then Clother Home, Rain Cap.
How Bizarre was one I was thinking about doing a dob
Pressed
on.
again by How Bizarre, who's very game on the far side. Aquamas all out from How Bizarre. It's Aquamas doing
Got
enough
Mass, it's
at the
got it.
14th time of asking. Aquamas is a winner. How Bizarre was second.
Market suspended.
So again, it backs up how quickly you've got to get your timing right, because this is yet another one that we've profited on from today, from literally laying a winner. And if we'd been in too late over that halfway stage on a 7-furlong race, we could be looking at losing our money. Nearly did take a loss on it, but I could see how much time was left. Then I did think about scratching it. Then I thought, no, we'll take the pound, because it looked like the price was definitely going to go out to where it was, which I was right on. And then we didn't trade any further than that. If we'd been greedy and gone in for a second trade, no doubt we'd have got caught out. So timing and using the race time is everything in this game. Okay, we've got a grade 1 bumper at Punchtown. Quite a lot of money's been turned over, but unfortunately for us, we've got an odds on favourite in it. And it's really a 2-horse race. So whether we'll get any trades through, I don't know. I do expect American Mike as well to be a front running horse, with the favourite being following it behind, and them two competing at the end. So whether we'll get some trades through or not, I really don't know. But we'll have a look at it and see what happens.
In play.
Obviously, all the rest of the runners are way too big a price. Unless something really comes crashing in price, we're not going to get any trades through, I don't think. But interesting race to watch, and we'll have a go if the opportunity arises. We'll see how far it happens. Is that American 9 in front? It's supposed to be a red cap. You ain't got a red cap there.
Continuing in these early stages, Mike covered by 2 lengths. Closing is Facile Vega. On the inside, Viva De Vito, and then Redemption Day. Racing into the straight, 2.5 furlongs to go, and it's American Mike the leader, pushed along in front.
And we're matched.
There is Facile Vega and Redemption Day as they race to the final furlong and a half. Redemption Day on the outside of Facile Vega. They've brushed aside American Mike, racing to the final long.
And we're out.
It's Redemption Day and Judy Townend on the near side. Imagine Facile Vega and Patrick Mullins. Facile Vega's finding on the far side from Redemption Day, pulling well clear of American Mike. Facile Vega from Redemption Day. Facile Vega wins it by a
Market suspended.
Redemption Day, a long way clear of American.
No, I'm really surprised Redemption Day got that second in. That was a bit hairy for a second, but only for a second, though, thank God. But it did trade in low. That would have been a really good one for laying low strategy. I never thought it was going to beat the favourite. It did worry me, the price coming in for a bit. And if you notice what happened, we actually got quite a bit of the stake matched before the price came in. So we weren't in for our full stake, just a smaller percentage of it. So we could have lost like about 15 quid or whatever. I think the liability would have been maybe 20. But yeah, a bit too hairy for me. The only hairy one of the day though. But it just goes to show any horse could win. I was looking at it thinking the price would come in through the race, but like I say, it's a real shame we didn't just lay that low. You know, I'd have loved to have laid that down at 2.2 or 2, but I just didn't spot it in my figures this morning, unfortunately. So, but it'll be one that I will certainly be bookmarking and looking again in the future for a lane low strategy in the right race. So just a 1 mile 4 apprentice handicap. Just got to be careful. Had a bit of a risk in the last one. I don't want any more risk today. So just try to get easy. See if we can get some ticks through. Probably on the 3rd runner if we do trade anything at all. But I'm just going to wait for the right moment and try and get something through safely. Obviously, looking at the race time, it would all be too far in on a short race like this. So.
Having a look across to Mystique, who's more towards the inside.
I am tempted. We're not even halfway through the race yet. So
right-handed and on the descent towards Wilson Avenue. And it's Lady Alicia that leads the way by a length now to Mystique in 2nd place. It's How We Roll, Iconic Mover, and finally Ada. running for the final 5.5 furlongs, and is at the races at Form Study Apprentices Handicap. Lady Alicia out in front, top weighted here, 9 stone 11 from in second.
158, quick match there. I was about to change that to 8-6,
from Iconic Mover on the outside,
which we would have got. We've got a little bit of time left.
And now swinging left-handed.
Is it safe? That's the question.
To run past the 4 furlong marker and on towards the 3, and Lady Alicia is trying to stretch them out.
I'm out of here, man.
On the hill, she stays pretty strongly in second. Miss Tiki just in the slipstream there. Iconic Mover out wide. It's How We Roll and Ada heading down the hill and at the cutaway. Lady Alicia.
Don't know if the price will get down enough to us, will it?
It's How We Roll chasing after them. Miss Tiki now being pulled out for a
I'm out of here, man.
by George Rook. Lady Alicia is
We better close off
by Georgia, and then in behind them it's How We Roll is still staying on. Lady Alicia keeping up the gallop. They head down inside the final furlong, and Lady Alicia from Miss Tiki in second, and then it's How We Roll and Lady Alicia.
So yeah, got a small trade through. Probably could have got a few more ticks on it.
Market suspended.
But it's still a 150 profit for what, a minute's work. So that's all right. Let's move on. Okay, so we have the last race at Punchtown. It's a 2 mile 5 furlong handicap chase. As you can see, liquidity is still pretty decent for Irish racing. I've got a lane low strategy on Rebel Gold on this one, down at 2.4. With a 100 tick offset. He's traded in low quite a few times without winning. It has won from some big prices a couple of times as well. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. And we're also going to see if we can scalp out a few ticks within this race as well.
And Pleasure. Animix has been knocked back to rear division as they come away from that 3rd fence onto the 4th. And it's Cavalry Master.
So currently we've got a short price favourite. There's a lot of runners, so that's holding up the price at the moment on all the others. You see they're all quite large prices. We need a few runners to either drop out the race to lower the odds on some of the others, really, which I'm sure will happen at some point.
With this one. Then Royal Rendezvous and Ciel de Neige getting a little bit closer. Egality Mon joins them from the back. And then Animix, Rebel Gold, Snugsborough Hall, struggling as Fancy Foundations. Foxy Jacks has folded towards the back as one behind Animix. They turn at the 5 furlong point, 4 fences left to jump, and the OMC claims handicap chase. The West's Awake holding on to a lead of less than a length from Cavalry Master, Revel Pleasure, discordantly, and Ciel de Neige. Royal Rendezvous and Snugsborough Hall is creeping into it. Egality Mon is on the outside. They're tightening up. 4 fences left to go. The West's Awake.
I've got to blow that in price, because if that price starts coming in, we go with that.
Sucker.
Fence, they head for the 3rd
and that is the problem. What's Rebel Gold doing?
Cavalry Master ridden along. Discordantly is on the
so
outside of Revel and Pleasure.
I'm actually going to increase the price on that to get in front of that one.
Snugsborough Hall is next, then
get in front of that 172.
Egality Mon gone clear from Fancy
So if it kicks down, we're not going to get matched. If it just sticks down for a second, it's going to hold it up.
Jump the West's Awake from Cavalry Master, swinging wide is Snugsborough Hall, but discordantly in Ciel de Neige, Revel and Pleasure and Royal Rendezvous, and then Egality Mon. It looks scoopable as they come down towards the second last, spread across the track, discordantly in the middle of the fence from Ciel de Neige,
like Rebel Gold's going to do it today.
Hall, then Cavalry Master, the West's Awake, Royal Rendezvous is trying to come back at them ahead of Revel and Pleasure, coming down to the final fence, and the OMC claims handicap chase.
It did come into 11, so it did go, but not good enough for me to make a profit.
Snugsborough Hall in between them, then Ciel
hang on close to the photo.
battling it out discordantly, and Royal Rendezvous, who's edging ahead. Royal Rendezvous for the champions, Paul Townend and Willie Mullins.
Market suspended.
Discordantly, Snugsborough Hall 3rd, then Egality Mon, Ciel de Neige and Revel and Pleasure.
Okay, so that's me done for the day. Taking it very easy. We only got into a little bit of trouble once throughout the day with a little bit of a red number on the outsider. Everything else has been extremely safe, cautious trading. Just bringing in small amounts of money to double the bank. I'll show you the results when that 169 comes through in a few moments on a separate video. Okay, so that was the results for the day. £50.24. Ignore that where it says 54.25. I got a little scalp through on the snooker on the Mark Williams match for £4.1p, scalping out 10.6 there. So ignore that. On the actual horse racing, £50.24p. It's not actually that great result. for me, to be honest with you, because I had 16 markets I looked at today, although I did double the bank, I only started with £50 bankroll and then you did £2.50 click. The 16 markets are profitable. I quite often will end up with sometimes over £100 for that kind of performance, but no losses at all. There was one time where it was a little bit sketchy, where we went into the red, and other than that, I think I was in the red very briefly once or twice throughout the whole day. It just flashed up for a second. Being very, very cautious. If you're one of these people that are sort of coming around in the market and you're having some profits and you're having some losses, I can assure you, you probably need to concentrate on cutting out those losses. Where I used to go wrong, basically try to trade too much, try to go through too many trades. You're much better off just to do what I do, what I've shown you today, sit on your hands, and just wait for the opportunity. If you don't get any money or can't get any money through the market, you know, I had a few occasions like that, like 47p, for example, and a couple of just quids. Didn't really get much through the market. You know, so be it. So be it. It's much better that. It's much better cutting out a load of markets that are no good for your strategy because of the way they're, you know, moving. They're not moving correctly, or the way you need them to move. Maybe liquidity is too low. Maybe it's too high for your strategy. It depends what your strategy is. But I can assure you, you need to cut out those losing times. If you can cut out the losing times, work out on being more defensive in your trading, you will start to profit. Essentially, you must be defensive. That is the secret. The trick to trading is to be very cautious, pick out the markets to suit your strategy, and when you have picked them out, don't assume anything, don't get greedy, just be as careful as you can, get the trades for at the right time, get your timing correct, and you'll make a profit. Any questions, queries, leave a comment. If you got back to me, if you sent me an email or anything recently, I've just had a few weeks off. This was my first day back today, and I was just easing myself in the market. So if I've not replied to you or anything as yet, I will get back to you at some point, don't worry. Other than that, good luck in the markets. If you do need a copy of the race timer, drop me an email, and if you need a copy of the spreadsheet analysis that I use, there's a link for that in the description as well. Other than that, if you're not doing it already, get yourself a copy of the Geeks Toy and make yourself some money. Bye-bye for now.
Introducing Geeks Toy trading software, the fastest, most customizable and most popular software for betting and trading on Betfair and BetDAC. Designed by professional traders for you. Key features include unlimited desktop settings and the ability to create custom profiles to suit every user's needs. Unbeatable speed, real-time prices and one-click betting. Unique management of multiple markets. You can bet or trade on multiple sporting events simultaneously. Support for 8 languages. Context-driven help on every window. Dutching and bookmaking. Training mode. Advanced charting. Enhanced navigation. Support for Betfair coupons. Stop loss and more. Geeks Toy. Possibly the best Betfair and BetDAC trading software in the world.